Welcome to Lessons from the Dome. These are my solo episodes that I love to create when I'm just thinking about a topic that I know will touch and change someone's life. Don't forget to let me know what you think by leaving a comment or leaving me 5 stars or leaving me a thumbs up or sharing with a friend. I can't wait to hear what you think. Okay, I'm back with another lesson from the dome, and this one's very interesting because I recently had a conversation with a friend about how a lot of people lack self-awareness. They lack self-awareness when it comes to reading a room or reading a conversation or situation. So if you're having a conversation and you're talking about something that's clearly making the other person uncomfortable, or you're giving too much information personally about your life, then that is a lack of self-awareness, a self-awareness in yourself to make sure that you're not spreading your business and you're dealing with the stuff that you have personally or with your community that knows you a little bit better, and you're not pushing that on to a stranger or someone you just met or something like that. So that's the perspective of not being self-aware that my friend was talking about. The self-awareness that I fear people lack is knowing themselves. You can't just move through life without having a desire or a feeling or an ambition for something. But most people get stuck at the feeling, ambition, or idea stage, and they don't actually take the necessary actions to do the work that they proclaim that they want. Like, you have everything that you want takes action. So if you say you want to do something, the missing piece is usually the action portion. Like, for instance, people ask me, they're like, what do you need? I need to take action so that I can get the thing that I need. Like, do you want to help me take action by introducing me to the right people or the right environment that will make the action that I take actually have an outcome? That's how you can help me, like, tap into my plethora of resources that I already have, and don't try to make me do anything extra. But that can also be a problem because maybe the extra thing that I'm supposed to be doing is the great unlock to the things that I've already built. Maybe the things I've already built is just my foundation. You see, me talking this out right now is self-awareness within itself. Because I'm diving deeper and asking more questions, and I'm not just taking one answer as the gospel. Like, it's not the ultimate. Like, I continue to be curious and explore until I understand what it is that I should be doing or taking out of a situation. That is self-awareness. That is deep thinking. That's that critical thinking piece and connecting dots piece that everyone says that the kids today are missing, and even some of the adults. It's a whole thing. But let's get back to self-awareness. So this is why understanding who you are, what your motives are, and overall being self-aware is important. I'm going to give you a list, and here, let's play a game with it. If when I read a statement, you feel like that is true in your life, like you already do this piece, then give yourself a point. At the end, if you have at least, let me count really quick because I have my list of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 statements on here. If at the end you have at least 3 points, like you do these things, that means you are self-aware. If you have less than 3 points, you have a little bit of work to do. So I'll read my list, and you give yourself a point if this statement resonates with you and you already do it in your life. You are self-aware when you understand what you can and cannot do, and you stop forcing yourself into roles or situations that drain you. If you do this in life already, give yourself a point. You are self-aware when you stop pretending to be someone you're not and start showing up fully as yourself. There are a lot of people who do not show up as they are, and they pretend so that they can get ahead or they can get to the right crowd, they feel. But that mask normally burns and it starts to eat you inside because it's unnatural to keep pretending. So if you don't pretend and you show up as you are, give yourself a point. Next, when you're self-aware, you stand up for yourself, own your confidence, and take control of your life instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. This one right here is my biggest one because so many people will come to you. I don't know about you, but me, and expect me to do the work for them. They're like, oh, here's my idea. I'm so excited about it. Like, can you help me do XYZ? And the XYZ that they want me to help them with is the actual work that they need to be doing in order to make their idea or their dream come to life. Don't come to me and ask me to do research for you. You need to do the research so that you understand the context, the systems, and the foundation that's necessary in order to make your thing pop. Like, you can't come to me and ask me to do that work for you. That means I know your business better than you know your business, or I know your idea better than you know your idea. And then if I start to build upon it, and then you want to step in the midway point or the end point and then take credit. No, sir, no, ma'am. That means that's my idea at the end because I did all the work. I know how the systems work. I know how the sausage is made, and you know nothing. So I want people to realize an idea is just an idea. Don't go around asking people to do the work for you and then they do it and you get mad if they claim it. That's all I'm trying to say. Do your own work. Just like in grade school, do your own work and stop trying to cheat off of people in life and then get mad when that person tells the teacher or they have an A in the class and you have a D in the class. Like, the things we learn in grade school apply way more than you think they do. So that's my nugget for that one. All right. Next one. You are self-aware when you stop complaining, blaming, and playing the victim because you realize your power to shift your mindset, your habits, and your path. Look, we all complain, we all blame, and we all play victim. We've all done it at some point in our lives, but for me, at some point, you realize that you're wasting your time when you could be spending that energy in actually doing the work that you're complaining about or that you're blaming someone else for. Like, don't blame anybody for something. Make them step up and also be more self-aware. Most of the time, people don't know what they don't know, and they don't realize that they're not self-aware and they're being lazy or they're not contributing positively to a situation. And make them know and make them acknowledge that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing so that you don't spiral out of control. Like, communication is a big part of being self-aware as well. Knowing how to communicate is absolutely important. And then your mindset, your habits, and your path, very important. All of this stuff is interconnected. Like, you have to know yourself so well because the things that you're naturally gravitating towards, they're either negatively impacting you or positively impacting you. How can you stop the cycle that you're currently in so that it leans more positive and the path that you're building is one that you actually care about? So we finally made it to number 5. I know I talk. I can go. But number 5, you are self-aware when you're fulfilling your highest potential and becoming everything you are capable of being. This is called self-actualization. I'm very invested in the idea of self-actualization. Like, how do we actually become our highest potential where we're not
trying to survive, but we're thriving, and we have all the resources that we need. We have the community that we need. We're on the right path that we feel aligns with who we are as people, like our values, our morals, our skills, our talents, our abilities, our desires, our goals, like all of that bundled up is in alignment, and it's all working like a well-oiled machine. That is how I look at self-actualization. And if the statement that I read, where you feel like you're operating at your highest potential where you are right now, and you're doing everything that you're capable of doing right now, and it's positive and it's going well and it's in alignment with who you believe you are, then give yourself that point. Like give it to yourself. I would say this one right here on this list is maybe the hardest point to give, because a lot of people feel like they're not operating at their highest potential. And when I say highest potential, think of it as a scale between 0 and 100%. And I feel like it's very rare to be operating at 100%. So the way I look at it is, if you're operating at 85 to 100%, then I would consider you in that self-actualization area. Like you're in the range, you're on your way. If you are 84% or less, you got some work to do. That's the way that I just look at it. But there may be some people listening, and we went through that, and you're like, dang, I only have a 3. 3 is good. That means you're on your way, but it could obviously be better with a 4 or 5. That means you're 100% self-aware. But there may be some people with a 1 or 2, or a lukewarm 3, where like a statement is kind of true, but like, you got some work to do. I know there are some people who are like that. So if that is you, of course, I don't like presenting problems or challenges without giving you something to solve it with, like leaving with a tool or action item. So of course, I have some action items of things that you can do and you can take with you to help you elevate your self-awareness as you journey through life, because it's a journey. Remember, don't beat yourself up. Never. All right. So here are the tools to help you elevate your self-awareness. So number 1, and I'm not going to be basic. The things that I say will be basic in that you can do them, but it won't be basic in that I'm telling you to like just journal all the time. Like everyone says journal, but what do you journal? What questions do you ask? Like I'm trying to get really deep. So here's number 1. So the first thing that I want you to try, and I'm giving you like 5 things, so you can do 1 thing a day, and that even doing that little bit will get you 1 step closer to being self-aware. So day 1, record yourself talking and then play it back for yourself at the end of the day. I know. Just like I'm doing right now, I'm recording myself and I listen to myself back. So you can do the same thing. So record yourself talking and then play it back at the end of the day. These are the things you're looking for. Notice your tone. Notice any filler words. I know I'm really like, has me in a chokehold. I already know that about myself. Even as I'm speaking, I'm like, dang it, I said, but that's just because I took public speaking classes growing up. So we played games where like, if you said oh my gosh, like also has me in a chokehold, but we played games where if as you were talking, you said things like, stuff like that. There we go. I'm saying, we were called out on it. We would get a buzzer and it would get counted. And by the end of the night, we would know how many filler words had us in a chokehold for the night. So do the same thing with yourself. Like I just gave you another tool. If as you're talking and you play it back, you start to hear those filler words, just give yourself a point in those categories so that you're aware of which filler words have you in a chokehold. And you can think and slow down as you speak so that you don't have those filler words anymore. Next up, after you listen back, you should also try to listen for any rambling. So I ramble a little bit when I talk. I ramble in a way that gives more context or gives more clarity around a situation. And then I snap back and go back to what I was talking about. But if you ramble and you're saying the same things twice, and the things that you're saying doesn't add another layer to what you're talking about, then it's filler. So that is your sign that you have to work on clarifying things and getting more to the point. All in all, record yourself, and then at the end of the day, play it back and start taking just notes about how you show up through your voice, like how you tell a story, how you talk about a situation or a thing. All of it is important. You'll learn so much about how you actually show up when you're talking. Try to choose topics that are both professional leaning. So maybe describe your job or the work that you do on a recording. Listen for how you describe it. Describe a situation where you got in trouble or a challenge and you had to get out of it at work. You can do this for personal as well. Describe how you get out of conflict with a sibling or a parent or someone in your family. Describe your favorite TV show. Who are the main characters? What is it about? What is the daily challenge or the weekly challenge that they're solving? There's so many things that you can talk about when you do this recording that will help you understand how you show up in all different types of situations, not just at work. And hint, hint, this will help you when you're holding conversations with people that you've never met before and you have to keep the conversation going. This will help when you're sitting in an interview and someone says, tell me about yourself. Tell me about the work that you do. Like, you will already have practice because you're recording yourself and then listening back to it, and you're making tweaks and you're writing notes and you're understanding how you show up. Got it? Okay. I think we got that one. All right. The next tool, switch up your environment. This is especially a big one. If you're someone who works remotely, or even if you're working in the office. Like when I worked in the office, the longest office environment I worked at was at a media company, and they had a whole campus. Like my friends would come visit me and they'd be like, everyone's walking around with book bags and it's like huge. This feels like a college campus. Like my friends would come visit me and say that. We called it a campus as well. We had like a Starbucks on campus. Our cafeteria was modeled after Chelsea Market in New York, or like Ponce City Market in Atlanta. It had outside seats. They had seats in different foyers and phone booths. Like it was massive. Like as I'm describing it, I'm seeing the campus in my mind, and it's like etched in my mind. If I had to go somewhere today, I would still know how to get there because I spent so long all over that campus. And I'm saying this because even in a work environment, I never stayed in one place. I didn't sit at my desk, which, ruffled some feathers, but not a lot. They got over it eventually. But I never sat at my desk, and I would go around the campus. I would just be all over the place in that building working. So changing your environments is so important because the new spaces will make you more alert to your habits and your defaults and your reactions. So if I'm working outside and someone's being noisy, how will I react? Will I get up? Will I move? Will I put my headphones on? Like if I'm just putting my headphones on, that means I'm flexible, that the noises don't bother me as much, and I can still get my job done and my work done, and I can be flexible in any situation. If I'm getting upset, that means maybe I can't handle new things that are thrown my way randomly. And that's good for me to know that is a challenge for me. You see what I'm saying? If I get up and move, that means I can easily adapt. That means, all right, I realize that this situation is not for me anymore. Let me get up and move somewhere else to make it more comfortable for me to keep working. All of these things, the dots that I'm connecting, that's because I'm self-aware. I will like for you to get to that level where if you give an example, you're able to connect dots and talk about yourself because you understand yourself. So your habits, your defaults, and your reactions, all of that will help. Switching your environment will help you understand that about yourself. And even if you work from like a new cafe or library, wherever you choose, as you continue to work from these new places, it will show how adaptable you are. You'll become extremely flexible and adaptable because you'll be moving your location so often. And then you'll be getting back on track and staying focused on the work that you have set for yourself, even in these new situations and environments. So you're stretching your flexibility and adaptability muscle at the same time as you are trying to figure out who you are and how you show up. That was day 2. And you can do this every single week. So on Monday, you can record yourself talking and then take notes for yourself. On Tuesdays, you can go find a new place to work and then take notes about your experience. When you think of a thought or when something happens, write it down. So it's less of journaling and it's more of taking quick notes so that you understand how you're showing up and what the environment is like. And as I'm talking, I'm like, dang, I need to do this for myself. I do some of this, but I don't do it in a structured weekly setting. So you and me, we're doing this together. Day 3, do something you're bad at. Oh my gosh. So I'm speaking to myself when I say this out loud. I noticed that I was a perfectionist to the point where like I didn't want to do the things that I was signing up for because I was like, dang, I'm going to be bad. I'm going to be so bad at this. But when you do things that you're bad at, you're learning to learn and learning how to fail and then get back up and rise from the ashes. And I think so many of us, we struggle with this the older we get as well. And now I'm starting to read like articles where kids are struggling with perfectionism essentially, and it's crippling them. So I've had this conversation before, but Nike changed their slogan or whatever it was. I don't know if it's a permanent change or if it was just for that commercial, but they changed their slogan because they realized that this generation of new kids, they're scared to fail. Instead of just do it, it had some undertones of like, what if you never did it or something like that. I don't remember what the actual slogan was and I don't feel like looking it up, but it basically was like trying to soothe the new generation and get them into moving and taking action. So like just do it wasn't motivational anymore. It was all of a sudden it was demotivating and it was too harsh for the generation that is coming now. So I say all of that to say that you're not alone. Even the kids have to be reminded that it's okay to not be good at everything. So your day 3 is to do something bad on purpose and then watch how you respond to the discomfort, the failure, and the feeling of not being in control. I think a lot of us go literally wild and bonkers when we lose control of a situation or of a thing. You're not supposed to have control all the time. It's a give and take type of thing. That is what you should be doing on Wednesday. For me, that is doing hobbies. I recorded episodes with people talking to me and explaining their hobbies. And I made a promise and a commitment to each of the people that I talked to. I've talked to like 11 people that I would try their hobbies. So what I will be doing on my Wednesdays when it's time for me to show up and do something that I have no clue about what I'm doing, and I will probably inherently be bad at it because I don't know what I'm doing. That will be what I'll fill my Wednesdays with. So think about what you'll fill your Wednesdays with. Like, what thing will you do that you're bad at? And do that thing on Wednesdays for yourself. And then remember to take your notes, write down what's making you uncomfortable, Write down the parts where you fail, and after you fail, what do you do to get back up? And then write down how you feel when you have no control, because you're in a interesting position when you're failing and you're losing control. Like, do you get riled up? Do you calm down? Do you try to search and find a way to get back control? Like, just take note. It's all about becoming self-aware. All right. Now, Thursday. This is what we're going to do on Thursdays. This is number, wait, let me make sure I'm telling you the right day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, yes, this is Thursday. So this is number 4. So next, we're going to audit our digital footprint, and we're going to do this weekly. We are going to audit our digital footprint. For the beginning, maybe you choose one social platform or wherever you show up online. Like, even if you're on Yelp or something, that's your digital footprint as well. But each Thursday, you're going to pick one platform or one place where you show up online, and you're going to audit it. So you're going to scroll and see what patterns you notice. What are the conversations that you're talking about? Where are you being nosy? What is piquing your interest if you're like reposting or reblogging it? Because if you repost something, that means you stand by it and you stand for it and you believe in it. Because why else would you repost something if you don't? Go ahead and click through your stories on Instagram or on TikTok. Like, what are you choosing to amplify? Because when you post something in your stories, you're choosing to amplify it, because now it becomes like a billboard, and Insta and TikTok will show it to people who may never even click on your page on a regular basis, and the stuff that you post don't show up on their feed. So your stories is a billboard. So what are you choosing to put on that billboard stage? And it also, this goes beyond just social media platforms. It's also your text messages. Who are you talking to on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? And what are y'all talking about? How would you describe that person that you're talking to? Are they a toxic person? Are they a positive person? The conversations that you're having, are they toxic? Are you talking about people? Are you talking about things that don't matter for the goals that you have set for yourself? Like, all of this is important. All of this is self-awareness so that you understand the circle that you keep and the conversations that are constantly floating in your orbit. And then also emails. Who are you emailing? At work, who are you emailing and what are y'all talking about, especially if it's not work? And then in life, what newsletters are you signed up for? What do your emails consist of? All of these are important. So it's really important for you to document and write down how you're showing up, not just on social media, but in your life, so that you can build a report about the life that you're leading right now and the patterns that show up. So as you're doing your audit, I want you to think about the patterns that you notice in how you express yourself, how you avoid things, and how you seek validation. No matter what, we all seek validation in some shape or form, and we don't even realize we're seeking validation. But this day particular, this is the nitty gritty of self-awareness. So if you commit to this week, definitely commit to it. I want you taking notes as well. Don't just do these things and then don't take notes, because you're not building that self-awareness muscle if you're not taking notes and then going back and rereading those notes so that you can truly understand yourself. We've reached the next day. This is Friday. So on Fridays, we wear pink. I'm just playing. Fridays, you wear whatever you want to wear. But on Fridays, we want to narrate our thoughts out loud for at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. You're going to talk to yourself. And when you talk to yourself, you're not going to fix anything in real time. just keep going. Make sure that it's something that's authentically you. It doesn't have to be positive. It could be negative if where you are in your life right now is negative. Like, it's up to you. You choose what you talk about for 5 minutes. If it's about you, talk nicely to yourself. If it's about a situation or something you're experiencing give it to yourself raw. Like, be open, be honest. If you can't be honest with yourself, well, that's something you need to be writing down, that you're avoiding saying things out loud and not even being honest with yourself. The reason I want you to talk to yourself is just so that you can hear what's going on in your head. What things are constantly coming up and how can you get them out into the world? Because when we get things out into the world, they're not living in our head and we can start to take action on them, even if it's just speaking about the thing. So most people have no idea the things that are trapped in their head. So even just speaking it out loud for that 5 minutes can help free you just a little bit. I remember the first time I did. So this is morning pages that I'm going to talk about, but I think morning pages is also like 5 minutes a day or something like that. But I remember the first time I did morning pages where you just like fill up the page, or I think you fill up like 3 pages with whatever comes out of your mind at the time while you're writing. The first time I did that, my mind felt clear. I'm telling you, it felt like a weight had been lifted off of me. This was so helpful. So maybe this is like giving morning pages vibes, where like you just wake up on Fridays and you do this. And even if you feel like this helps you, maybe it's not only on Fridays. Maybe you do it every single day. You wake up and you just talk to yourself. How are you feeling? What's going on? Like, just 5 minutes when you wake up. Or if you're an afternoon person, 5 minutes during lunch, instead of watching something first or scrolling through social media, or before you go to bed, have a 5-minute conversation with yourself. Just like 5 minutes to figure out what the heck is going on in your head. That's all you need. And that is all I'm asking. After you're done having that 5-minute conversation with yourself, I do want you to jot down the things that come back to you. What did you talk about? What came up and what did not come up? And what will you talk about the next Friday? Like, just jot down really quick notes so that you can start to realize what you're talking about, what keeps coming up, and what you're excited about. Like, when you write down what you want to talk about next, that's what you're excited about. And when you talk about your next thing, try to make the connection to see if what you were excited about talking about actually came back up that next week. So just a little extra exercise for you within an exercise. Next up, Saturday. You know, we're resting on Sunday, so Saturday is the last day. But on Saturday, you have one job, and your job is to ask, what am I avoiding? And then try to think. Like, your brain may hurt a little bit. Like, when I think really, really hard about a situation or something, I get like a little tingle in my brain. I'm like, uh-oh, I got a brain cramp. So you might get a brain cramp when you're doing this, but be honest with yourself. What are you avoiding? And then start thinking about why. Why are you avoiding it? And what is that doing for your inner world if you continue to avoid it? So you ask yourself out loud, what am I avoiding? And you say out loud what you're actually avoiding. And then you jot down why you're avoiding it. So don't jot down what you're avoiding. Jot down why you're avoiding it. In your notes, you have the context so that you can act upon it. So for instance, something that I know I'm avoiding, I'll just be honest, something that I've been avoiding is editing my podcast. And why am I avoiding it? I had a conversation with a friend and they were like, I think I'm scared of success. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've had this same conversation with my mom. I think I'm also scared of success. So why am I avoiding editing my podcast? Because I know conversations are part of my calling. Every time I have a conversation, someone will come back to me and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a good conversation. Or I'll go do a coffee chat with someone and we spend like 3 hours at the coffee shop when we were only supposed to be there for an hour. So I'm like, I know my calling is having conversations and having good conversations and long conversations. So when I step into that fully and post it places, it will launch me into a new version of myself and do something completely different than what I'm used to doing. And there will be no more excuses. I have to show up consistently. I have to do XYZ. What I would write on my paper is that I'm afraid of success because XYZ. So I want you to get to the root of the why. Don't put down you don't want to pay for an editing tool when the real reason is you're afraid of success, because that's a deeper internal thing. You see? This is a topic that I can talk about forever because I had to learn how to be more self-aware. And once I started being more self-aware, I became conscious of the foolishness that goes on around me. And I was able to take myself out of situations that didn't align with who I was, what my values were, what my morals were, what I learned growing up as a child. Like, my parents instilled values in me. And I think a lot of people are valueless. And that's a topic for another day. But a lot of people have no values. Like, they don't have a code of honor for themselves so that they know when a situation that they're in is not one that they're supposed to be in. Like, they need to get out. So maybe I'll make my next post be about being valueless and how to develop that code of honor or those values or those morals for yourself, so that you know when to get out of situations and you're just not saying yes to a bunch of things that you feel will get you ahead in life. Like, that is not good. That's not a good way to live. And most people, they only present you with things that are good for them. And then they want you to be a piece of their pie so that they can get what they want, so that they can get their fill, they can get full, while you're just a piece of the pie that they're biting off of or draining to accomplish their goals or their way of life or whatever it is that they're trying to reach. So most people don't have your best interest in mind. So being valueless is not good, because you're setting yourself up automatically for failure for people who only care about themselves. You see with that, how that contributes to everything? But if you're self-aware, the more self-aware you become, you start to develop that code of honor and those values as well. So all of this feeds into each other. It's so interesting to me. But yes, I won't make you do anything beyond my Monday through Saturday plan that I just laid out for you. But do that. Do this Monday through Saturday plan for like a month and see how your life changes. So after doing all of this on a weekly basis, you get more disciplined and you know yourself well, and you start to become more aware of the situations that you're in and the people that you're around and who has your best interest in mind and who doesn't. Like, all of these things will come to you the more you do these things, you take note, and you move forward in your life. So I will leave it here. This was a long lessons from the dome conversation, but these tools that I've given you will help make sure that you are taking full advantage of who you are uniquely, and that you are aware of how you are showing up and moving through the world. So until next time, thank you so much for listening to another Lesson from the Dome.